hosting this event. My name is Sam Goldberg. I'm the president and co-founder of Lucidity. Before we begin, I just wanted to ask everybody, like, if you're not up to speed with linear algebra, would you please stand? Just so I have a Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's go to the next one. Okay. We'll get deeper into the tech later. So we run. This is about the pilot.
Yeah, this is the pilot update.
Okay,
So we'll do the product detail later.
So the great news is that we have worked with a lot of brands. Okay, we've gotten a lot of value here. Much thanks to the IAB, we published a transparency report covering the work that we did, some of the work that we did in 2018. So I encourage you all to take a look at that. And the great news is that there's real value. All right, so we'll get really deep into the tech later, but one thing I want to share is that there's value here, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like, we can talk about how cool the technology is, we can talk about how fantastic it is that there's a blockchain and that there's cryptocurrencies and all of that, but at the end of the day, really what we're talking about in our industry, the digital advertising industry, is there value for the media buyer? Is there value for the participants that are supporting the media buyers, getting the media to the right place, and then of course for the publishers. So if we can go to the next one. We've got a lot of great partners. We can't list them all yet. We've got a lot of great partners that we've had the opportunity and fortune to be working with. Some of our friends are here. It's great to see y'all. And then of course, if we don't know each other yet, I hope we'll become friends soon. One of the key things for the brands, of course, and their associated agencies is making sure that there's clarity. Right? That there's clarity, here's what's happening, here's what you're getting, here's what you should expect. And I think it's important that as we move forward together, I think that together we have a lot more opportunity than trying to do everything by ourselves. As we move forward together, like, providing that clarity is only going to make it easier for all of us and facilitate real action in our industry. When I say facilitate real action in our industry, I mean, like, the whole point of what we're doing with respect to using shared ledgers is to provide clarity for brands, to provide auditability for brands, and of course everyone supporting them to get the media in front of eyeballs. Now, that was the promise of digital in the first place, to have precision in getting in front of eyeballs. We've gone a bit awry. And I think that those of us that have been in the industry for a while would say that's not such a mild statement. We've got a little off track, but we have a real opportunity here as an industry to get back on the straight and narrow, to start hitting the balls regularly down the fairway, which is really exciting. So next one, please. Of course, there's been a lot of press. People are starting to take notice. This is what we want, right? Collectively, the more awareness, the more knowledge of the power of what we're bringing to the table that gets out there, the more realization of the results that we're able to deliver in that value prop, the greater this momentum this is going to get, and that's going to benefit everybody, and of course, most of all, the industry as a whole. So, I think one of the most important things that we should all remain conscious of is that we have to make it easy for people to work with us. Like, the more complicated it is to activate, the less likely it is to happen. I mean, let's just be plain, and I doubt I'm the first person to ever say this, but we're not always the fastest industry with respect to adoption. We're not always the fastest with respect to activation. But when it does happen, having that process be smooth, having it be able to clearly spell out, here's the steps we need to take, here's what's going to happen, here's what you should expect, and laying it out in advance, I think is really helpful. Our partners certainly appreciate it, and I think you guys will get great value out of it as well. So of course, I'm totally biased. As a co-founder of Lucidity, I want everybody to be working with Lucidity. I don't think that'll come as any surprise, but what may surprise some of you is that I do believe collaboration is the key to our collective future success. And I think there's a lot of opportunity there. I think there's been a lot of messaging that has been kind of all over the place, kind of very spotty. But I think together we can certainly accomplish more and quicker, especially when it comes to education. And much thanks to the IAB Tech Lab for taking a leadership role in that. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys with the results. So big thank you. You guys can all read. I'm glad though that we're all up to speed on algebra. I want to get that out of the way front end, so we'll cover some more of that later. So appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Sam, any questions for Sam? So I think that was an interesting part of the update was not just the results from the campaigns, but also like the process of how the challenges you face when you try to sell a blockchain solution and how you want to simplify that so that it doesn't appear like something alien to people and appears like a regular campaign solution, but just with better results.
Please.
You mentioned that we lost our way and there's going to be a painful reset. What do you, from your standpoint, how are we PR spinning that? How are we talking to the world about the reset?
Yeah, I don't think I said painful reset.
I said
but okay. So just to be clear, it's a great question. I don't think we're going to turn a light switch and all of a sudden what happened in the past is it's not going to exist in the future. I think that it'll definitely be a process, and I think that let's also get some clarity as far as like why a reset, why you would even mention that. Okay, if you are spending money in digital advertising today, the likelihood of too large a percentage of your spend being wasted is high. In other words, you're very likely to be wasting a whole lot of money. And I don't think anybody thinks that that's ideal. I think it's entirely suboptimal. I think as an industry, we could have in the past done a better job of eliminating some of that waste. I think on a moving forward basis, we have a great opportunity to provide more value, eliminate waste, etc. As far as a reset, I don't know how many times in history this has happened. They typically call those revolutions, and they don't certainly aren't overnight. I don't anticipate that. I think this is a process. And I think that the more education, I think the more that we work with our partners, the easier we will get to, or the smoother path we will get to that ultimate outcome, where we are in fact eliminating waste to the maximum extent possible.
Think about how Domino's admitted that their pizza sucked, and they had a better pizza before they said so. I guess that's where we are. We're building a better pizza.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be fair, some people like Domino's pizza, but I think objectively it sucks.
It's better.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting example, but you also cited something that I think is a real good parallel. They were working on a better pizza before they announced the better pizza. So I think we're working on a better pizza. Fortunately, we know the ingredients that go into a pizza, and therefore we have that good concept working for us. But again, I don't think we're going to change how pizzas are made fundamentally. I think there's a lot of improvement that can be done, but fundamentally, I think that the pipes are good pipes. As far as our industry goes, I think the ingredients are generally good ingredients. Sticking with the pizza analogy, we're going way too far with this. So, yeah. Other questions? All right, cool. Thanks very much.